I want to talk with you about how self-image connects to Luke chapter 13 and verse 30. Remember, Jesus said the first will be last and the last will be first? What about self-image? Well, maybe there's two sides of a divide, and we probably are on one side or the other. Here's one side, maybe a older generation. Someone berated you. Someone reminded you of your failures. Someone always pulled out the things you had done wrong. And maybe you've beat yourself up. Maybe you've berated yourself. And part of the consequence going forward has been to prove, maybe to yourself, maybe to your others, that you're okay, that you're decent, you're worthy. There's another side of the chasm. And here's how it goes. Everyone gets a participation trophy. Everyone and everything is awesome. A little kid gets a hit in a baseball game for third graders, and all the parents are saying how awesome it was. Well, it wasn't curing cancer. It was just a hit in a baseball game at a kid's park, but it's awesome. Maybe that's inflating what happened. Or I think about this sometimes when I'm checking out or say something, I'll say to a server something like, thank you. And instead of saying you're welcome, they'll say, you're good. Well, how do they know I'm good? Why not just say you're welcome? So one side of the divide is a suffering self-image, a suffering self-ego. The other side, maybe an inflated one. I'm awesome and I'm great. Interesting that in Romans chapter 12 and verse 3 it says not to think more highly of ourselves than we ought. But the problem is some of us are trying to prove ourselves to ourselves. And others of us maybe could use a bit of deflating. So when Jesus says the first will be last and the last shall be first, what we're dealing with sometimes is as much our own self-image. You see, these Galileans that Jesus was talking to, they didn't have TikTok accounts. They didn't have trophy cases. They didn't have youth sports and performances to remind them how great they were. They were suffering under the thumb of Caesar and of Herod. And Jesus is saying, you can check your ego at the door, whether it's overinflated or underinflated, and rely on God. For Psalm 75 says this, not from the east, nor from the west, nor from the desert comes exaltation, but God is the judge. He puts down one and exalts another. We inflate ourselves too highly, we're asking for a fall. We inflate ourselves too lowly, and we trust in God rather than dealing always with the self-image battles. Watch how God raises the humble. For remember again the words of Jesus, that the Lord is opposed to the proud, as it says in Proverbs 3, but gives grace to the humble. And remember Jesus, the one who humbles himself will be exalted. The one who exalts himself will be humbled. This is your daily devotional for Monday. I hope you're doing well. Hope you'll seek first the kingdom of God and pray for the church and pray for me. Thinking of the words of Joshua chapter 3, where they had the ark, the word of God, to go in front of them in the ark of the covenant. For they did not know the way they were going. They'd never passed that way before. You're ready to pass a new way with God, with his word leading you. You'll be just fine. God bless you as you serve him today.